south, north, west, and east. Hold on to your seats, because we are going all around the world.
Nick's back in the studio once again. Good to see you, Nick.
Nice to see you too again.
How was your Chuseok?
Was okay, nothing special.
Yeah,
just like as we talked about.
Sure, you joined us for our special edition of the show.
That was fun.
And yeah, that was a good time, wasn't it? And you said that you were going to be having a quiet Chuseok.
Yeah, I didn't really do much.
Yeah, right. But that's a good thing too, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed just hanging out, relaxing at home.
That's right. Well, it's good to see you once again. We're going to go back to Germany again this week. You have a quiz question for us first.
Yes. Which country does not border with Germany? 1. France. 2. Poland. Or 3. The Vatican.
One more time, please.
Which country does not border with Germany? Is it 1. France. 2. Poland. Or 3. The Vatican.
Thank you very much. You can put your answers on our Bundy board or use Kakao Talk or text in on your cell phone, pounder sharp 1045 for 50 or 101, depending on the length of your text. We are giving away a Knock Your Life Yohangyong backpack. All right, so we are going this time to the southwest of Germany.
Yes, and in the southwest there's a few cities I would suggest you to go if you ever have the chance.
Okay.
And that would be Cologne, Bonn, Düsseldorf, and Frankfurt.
Okay, so we're just looking at the map there on Poinen Radio. So Cologne, Bonn, Düsseldorf, and Frankfurt. They are in, the southern part of the country.
Yes.
What is the most southern city we're going to be talking about today?
Today, that would be Frankfurt, I think.
Frankfurt is, and it's a little in from the border with France.
Yeah,
right?
mostly if you come to visit Germany by plane, you will be ending up in Frankfurt.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, most of the planes go there.
Major hub, huh? I see.
Personally, I don't really think it's a pretty city, but...
Is this a photo on Poinen Radio?
Yeah.
That looks like a beautiful city.
Well, if you take good pictures,
it's true.
Everything looks good.
Yeah, I suppose for tourist reasons, everything looks good. But still, it looks like there's a beautiful tower there.
I mean, yeah, there's stuff to see, but still, the other cities, I think, are a little bit more worthwhile.
Well, thanks for the travel tips, Nick. Don't go to Frankfurt. It's honest. I like it. All right, so what should we be checking out in these places then?
Well, definitely in Cologne, you should go see the cathedral. It's a really beautiful, big dome, basically. It's been there for ages, and I think it's the most visited sightseeing site in Germany.
Oh, is that right?
I think it's on average 20,000 visitors every day.
20,000 a day?
Yeah.
My goodness. So Cologne then is a huge tourist town.
Yeah, definitely. And we have something called the German Carnival, and in Cologne that's a big thing too. So if you have the chance to go,
the German Carnival. So that would be comparable to
not the Brazilian.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, yes, we do have a parade, but it's more like a kind of Halloween. Like everybody dresses up in costumes, and while the parade is going through the streets, they throw like candy. And
that sounds like fun.
Like that.
Is that held in October as well?
I think that's November.
I see.
I'm not sure. We don't have that in Hamburg, so I kind of forgot when it was.
Got it. Can we put that photo up one more time on Poinen Radio? I believe that was a photo of the cathedral.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
That definitely is.
That is absolutely beautiful. And that bridge looked like the Hangang-daegyo, I think. Wait a minute. Is there a Hangang-daegyo in Cologne?
Yes, we imported that.
Yeah, right. Moving on to another city then.
Yeah, in Bonn. My grandparents actually used to live there for a while, so when I was young, I was there a lot.
Okay.
And if you have the chance, you should definitely go check out the Beethoven House. It's the birthplace of Beethoven.
Oh, cool.
It's at the same time, it's a museum. And also they have, at the buildings next to it, they even have a music chamber, and they have like some events playing music too.
Oh. Now, the photo on Poinen Radio for Bonn looks a lot more, not countryside, but a lot more rural.
Yeah, it is more. It has more of a rural feeling to it than other cities. It's still one of the bigger cities, but still, you're right. It has more of a rural feeling.
Sorry, can we go back to the photo just before? Not the photo now. This castle-looking building here.
Yeah, that's definitely worth going to see too.
What is that? Do you know?
I forgot the name, but I have personally been visiting it when I was younger.
It's very pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely, if you have the chance to go, you should go see it.
And a great view of the city from up there as well. All right, so Düsseldorf then.
Yeah, in Düsseldorf, there's the Königsallee. It's a city that is next to a small canal, and has a lot of designer luxury shops. I think it's the busiest like one of the busiest shopping streets in Germany. It's also quite nice to see and just take a walk.
Okay. It looks now this is interesting because Cologne looked quite modern, Bonn looked quite rural, and Dusseldorf, judging from this photo, looks like maybe a combination of the two.
Well, Cologne actually is too. Cologne also has an old town, so Cologne is also quite historical with the buildings, like lots of German cities. And Cologne and Düsseldorf have quite a rivalry in between them. Mm-hmm. But
how so? Like a friendly rivalry? You mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like a friendly rivalry. It's
sports
like,
and football,
especially football.
Yeah, right. Okay, so good for shopping, you mean? But you mentioned it's more high end shopping.
Yeah, it's more high end shopping. But if you have a chance to just go and eye shopping and take a walk, that's quite nice because it looks pretty too.
Yeah. Bring your wallet though.
I don't know if we have a picture of it.
Yeah. And finally, Frankfurt.
Yes. If you have to go there, or if you are there already, then you should go see the Goethe House.
if you're there right now.
But if you have no other choice but to be in Frankfurt, then go see the Goethe House.
Well, why do you say these things about Frankfurt? Why don't you like it very much?
It's quite a gray city in my opinion. If you're actually there, it's in comparison to Munich, Berlin, Hamburg, Cologne, Düsseldorf. It's more of a gray city. It feels kind of, you're down. Personally, I don't think it's worthwhile.
So it's just not that it's bad. It's just if you have other choices while you
other choices would be, in my opinion, better to go.
Understood.
It's just, in my opinion, an ugly city as compared to the others.
Got it. All right. So before we go to our song break, Nick, can you remind our listeners of your quiz question once again, please?
Yes. Which country does not border with Germany? Is it 1, France, 2, Poland, or 3, the Vatican?
You can put your answers on our Bundy board or use Kakao Talk or text in on your cell phone, #1045 for 50 or 101, depending on the length of your text. And we'll tell you who is going to win that prize a little bit later on. Here's Adele, Rolling in the Deep. Today with Nick and all around the world, we're talking about a few different cities in the south and west of Germany, Cologne, Bonn, Dusseldorf, and Frankfurt. And we kind of covered the reasons to go to the cities, generally speaking. We did not yet talk about food, though, so let's do that now. In Cologne, can we say that these cities have their own distinct food cultures?
In these cities, it's probably kind of similar because they're not that far apart from each other.
Okay.
And since I've only been visiting these cities and not been living in them, I'm not really 100% sure which exact traditional foods they have.
Is it common in Germany, for example, so Canada is so big, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Nova Scotia, which is way out on the East Coast. I've never been to Toronto before. So that's shocking for Korean people, right? Where are you from? Oh, Canada. Oh, yeah, Toronto. I went to Toronto. And I say, yeah, I've never been to Toronto. And they say, what? Is it common for people in Germany maybe to have never visited because the country's so large, maybe some other cities in the country?
Well, I'm sure there's some people from Munich that have never been to Hamburg or some people from Hamburg that have never been to Munich.
Yeah.
But in between the bigger cities, it's quite common to have been visiting them because it's so cheap to go by train.
Oh yeah, right.
But for example, if I would say I've never been to Bonn, nobody would really be surprised.
I see. So the big popular cities, the art cities or the shopping cities, then yes, of course, everybody would go there. I understand. All right, so tell us about the foods then in these cities, even though they are so close together.
Well, there's this one food in Cologne, which is called the Heaven and Earth food, which is quite traditional and special.
Heaven and Earth food, it's called.
And the reason why it's called like that, the earth is for potatoes, because they grow on earth.
Okay.
And then apples for the sky, because they're in the trees, right?
Okay.
So that's why Heaven and Earth. It's kind of a mashed potato thing, with the sweetness of apples in it.
Mashed potatoes with apples. So are they mixed together?
It's like not really mashed, kind of fried potato mixed with apples, I think. I have eaten it before and it's quite tasty.
Yeah.
I was surprised too. I was like,
apples and potatoes.
It doesn't really work.
That's a lot of starch, right? Yeah.
In Germany, there's also another way to call potatoes. We call them Kartoffeln.
Okay.
Or we call them Erdapfel, which means basically earth apple.
Earth apple.
So that's probably why the name of the food is like
Got
that.
it. Interesting. Well, lots of great food to check out in Germany. All right, Nick, we always ask you to teach us some expressions. And maybe because the weather is changing now into fall, you could teach us some weather expressions?
Yeah, that would be good, I guess.
Okay, I'll follow after you then.
So the first one, how is the weather in, for example, let's say.
Seoul.
Seoul. How is the weather in Seoul? Would be, wie ist das Wetter in Seoul?
Wie ist das Wetter in Seoul?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite easy, that. Wie ist das Wetter in Seoul?
Yeah, it's quite similar too, right?
Yeah, it sounds like how's the weather in Seoul, kind of.
It's quite similar.
Yeah,
So
okay.
then you would say today, it's kind of chilly, but it's still nice, right? The weather is nice. Das Wetter ist sehr gut.
Das Wetter ist sehr gut.
Yeah, sehr means very, so it would mean very good. You can also say gut.
Okay.
Das Wetter ist gut,
Yeah.
which is only nice.
Das Wetter ist sehr gut. Okay, next.
Yeah. The weather is rainy. Es ist sehr regnerisch.
One more time.
Es ist sehr regnerisch.
Es ist sehr regnerisch. No. Regnerisch. Regnerisch. Es ist sehr regnerisch.
Regnerisch.
Okay. And lastly?
Don't forget your umbrella. Vergiss deinen Regenschirm nicht.
Or don't forget your umbrella.
Why don't you try?
우선 기억하세요. Vergiss deinen Regenschirm nicht.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
oh, yeah?
Yeah, you did good.
Okay, so let's practice our dialogue. What is umbrella in German?
Regenschirm.
Oh, Regenschirm. Regenschirm. Okay, let's practice together then. Nick, wie ist das Wetter in Gangnam?
Es ist sehr regnerisch.
Oh, 그래.
우산 가지고 가세요.
How do I say the weather is in Canada?
Das Wetter ist,
Das Wetter ist
and then what you want to say,
regnerisch
in Canada.
in Canada.
Yeah, very good.
So,
A quick learner, huh?
so vergiss deinen Regenschirm nicht.
All right, I will take it with me then.
All right. Oh, that's fun.
I think today you were doing the best with your German
Today-
from all of the days.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you're a good teacher. All right, Nick, thank you very much. Can we have the answer to your quiz question now, please?
Sure. Which country does not border with Germany? 1, France. 2, Poland. Or 3, the Vatican?
And the answer?
Is the Vatican.
The Vatican is the answer. And the Knock Your Life Yohang Yong backpack goes to Jun Sujin Nim from Kakao Talk. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
And next week, very exciting, we're going to be talking about Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Probably the biggest festival of the year in Germany?
Yeah, and it's probably the biggest beer festival in the world.
In the world. Oh, that's going to be fun to talk about. All right, Nick, thank you very much. Have a good week. We'll see you then.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.